player poll was released yesterday by The Athletic. Trae Young voted as the most overrated player in the league. Then last night, Celtics fans let him know about it. They were chanting overrated at him during the Celtics Game 2 win. All right, Shannon. Whew, you've been a fan of Trae's. Have you lost faith in him now, though?
Hell no. Anything Rudy Gobert, when it comes to overrated, ain't first on that list, I'm disqualifying it. So Trae Young averages 25 points and 9 assists for a career. Let that sink in. Trae Young averages 25 points and 9 assists. So not only does he score, he gets other people involved. And on that run to the Eastern Conference Finals, he was 28-9, and that's overrated. Wow. Julius Randle was on the list, Pascal Siakam, Jimmy Butler, Rudy Gobert. Rudy Gobert. How has Rudy Gobert doesn't get 90% of the votes?
Well, he has won Defensive Player of the Year, 3 times?
Did you see him play this year? Are you watching him?
Yeah.
You watching him?
Yep.
No. Look, Skip, I mean, when you rate it, is he Steph? Is he Dame? Is he Luka? Is he D. Fox? Is he Ja? No. But overrated at 25 and 9? No. You gonna take, how many centers you gonna take before you get to Rudy Gobert? You taking Sabonis, you taking Jokic, you taking AD, you taking Triple J, you taking Joel Embiid, you taking Bam. Skip, you going probably 10 centers before you get to him.
And he's won 3 Player of the Year.
He overrated.
Okay. At least Rudy Gobert is 7 feet 2 inches tall.
And big for no reason. He as big as he is sorry, and he good and sorry.
And little Trae is about 5'11". And I did first guess this before he was even drafted, and I do get some credit because I do love the University of Oklahoma sports, both football and basketball. And I told you, as much as I liked watching him in college, when he led the nation in scoring and assists.
Yes. I told you it would translate, Skip.
It doesn't translate.
It does.
He's too little. He is a liability on defense, and he is a terrible three-point shooter.
He averaged 27 and 10 in college. How does 25 and 9 doesn't translate? I ain't say he's going to win. Skip, how many small guards have won a title?
Okay. You realize he has led the entire NBA in turnovers since he first stepped on the floor.
Yes.
Every year he leads in turnovers. He tries things you cannot try. He tries logo threes you just can't try unless you're Steph Curry, and he's not.
Right.
And I look at his playoff stats now. Little Trae Young is shooting 39.7% from the floor in all of his playoff games. 39, that's horrendous.
But Skip, look, I mean, when you play him, you worried about John Collins?
Okay.
You worried about Capella?
Okay.
Who you worried about?
He's 28.2% from 3. That is horrendously bad. He averages 5 turnovers a playoff game. He is a minus 97 for all the playoff games he's played. You can't. It's a liability. You can't overcome it.
And he ain't no way he more overrated than Rudy Gobert.
I don't know.
I know.
Think he is. And Boston is just chewing him up and spitting him out, just the way Miami did last year.
What they doing? What Denver doing to Gobert? His own teammates swinging on him.
They're just getting started.
We're getting started where? You know Rudy Gobert terrible.
He's not terrible.
You remember what your Clippers did to him? What the Clippers do to him?
Okay, well, this is about Trae Young.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Overrated. Skip, the man became unplayable. They couldn't even play him in the fourth quarter.
Okay.
3-time Defensive Player of the Year, and they couldn't play him in a game.
I'll take Rudy Gobert over Trae Young any day.
You gonna take him where?
I'm gonna take him up the playoffs.
He'll be a great translator if you go to France. He'll be great. He can tell you what that is and what it means and what you eating. But that's the only place I'm taking him.
He's a great super spreader, too.
I got to jump in, guys. We are out of time. Wonder how much the locker room drama might have played into that poll. All right. LeBron, gentlemen, how is he going to look in Game 2 against the Grizz tonight? Get your thoughts up next. Your podcasts. The Phoenix Suns evening things up last night. This in their series with the Clippers. They took the Clips down 123-109. Hello, Devin Booker. He had 38 points, 18 of those coming in the third quarter. KD added another 25 points in the Suns' win. Eddie House still hanging with us. This series is now 1-1. Eddie, the Suns look so different Game 1 versus Game 2. What was your biggest takeaway from last night's win?
Well, the biggest takeaway was Suns were able to get whatever they wanted offensively. There was no resistance in the pick and roll, whether it was Devin Booker in the pick and roll or whether it was Chris Paul in the pick and roll. They were taking advantage of that drop coverage, and the drop coverage is when the big is playing probably 4 or 5 feet away from you. And as you're coming off the pick and roll, he's constantly dropping back, daring you to take that mid-range shot. And Chris Paul was taking it. He was making it. Devin Booker was taking it and making it. And then what Chris Paul started to do to really manipulate it, started coming down and engaging that big and then kicking it to DeAndre Ayton at the free throw line for free throw line jumpers where he hit, I want to say, 3 straight shots at one particular time. And they shot 58% from the field, 58% from the field, 41 from 3. And to me, that's really where the game was. There wasn't anything that I feel that the Clippers didn't do that they did in game 1 and game 2, except Chris Paul knocked down shots, was able to manipulate that pick and roll. I look at the Suns, if one thing I could poke a hole in is they're giving up too many offensive rebounds. They gave up 15 offensive rebounds in game 1 and they gave up 12 in game 2. Now, that's something that you have to clean that up, especially when you have 2 bigs out there that can rebound the ball. But for the most part, I thought the Suns played a great game. And Devin Booker just took over and was a superstar that he is. Didn't make a 3 in the first game. This game comes out and makes 4. So that was the difference in the game to me.
Yeah, I agree with you. Book was sensational. They made big shots. If you look at the Suns, with 16 of 22 on mid-range shots outside of 14 feet in game 2, and in game 1, they were 8 of 25 on those same shots. If you look at what they did, they put the ball in Book's hand primarily in the second and third quarter. And in the second quarter, the last 11 possessions, they made 10 shots, and they took right back off in the third quarter. So what I'm hoping, if I get Kawhi and Book or Kawhi and KD to push, I get Russ and KD, Russ and Book to push. Now I make it about Chris Paul, DeAndre Ayton, because that's where they got to win the game. Their starters, Eddie, is going to have to be plus 10 to plus 15 because they're going to normally lose the bench. Now, they did outscore. They got outscored again, 30-13. So they're going to lose the bench. They're going to lose the bench normally. So you've got to get Ayton and Chris Paul and Torrey Craig, who's having an outstanding series because a lot of time he's getting covered by Zubats because they're devoting so much attention to Book and KD. But they had to have this game last night. They can't go down 0-2 coming to the Clips. And I know it's not Boston, and it's not one of these great home court advantages, but you're down 0-2. And when you go down 0-2, you only win 8% of the series going back through history. So, they needed this game. And my biggest takeaway is that the guys that you counted on came through, but it was the role players. Go back and look at the Lakers, Skip. Who was it? It was Rui. It was Reeves. I know what I'm gonna get from KD. I know what I'm gonna get from Book. Can I count on DeAndre Ayton to give me 14 and 13?
He's not a role player. No. He's one of the big four.
He ain't no. He ain't no superstar. He ain't got no all-star. He ain't got no all-NBA. If you ain't got that on your resume, that's what you are.
Okay. Did I just hear you say that they need Russ and KD to push?
No, but I'm saying, but here's the thing. Russ is taking over the role for Paul George. Normally that would be Paul George in that situation. If you got 2 big guns, your 2 big guns got to cancel each other out. And now I'm going to make it about my role players.
Okay. All right. So Eddie, the man across from me, my debate partner, has made fun of me for being in Phoenix on the Thursday morning before the Super Bowl when the bombshell had dropped overnight that KD was now a Phoenix Sun. And I told a Phoenix-based crowd, I think you guys just won the NBA championship. So he's made a little fun of me because it could be overstatement until we watched the game last night. And I believe that deep down, Shannon Sharp and maybe even Eddie House sat back and thought, God, that kind of looks like a championship team to me because I do think it's a big 4. And all 4 right on time had incredibly valuable contributions to the night that became a tour de force of why I'm picking the Suns to win it all. Because I remind you, if KD hadn't come out firing right away early and made 3 quick shots, they might have gotten just scorched right out of the building. They fell behind 13 with 5 minutes left in the second quarter, and it was KD and DeAndre Ayton who kept them barely afloat. Right. Then they go on a 23-10 run to end the second quarter going into halftime, and Book finally makes his first 3, and it's one of those gotta shoot it where the clock is winding down, you just gotta heave it, and it went in. and he went off in the third quarter, and he scores 18 with 4 assists. It was another tour de force because you know and I know he's capable. And then to Eddie's point, Chris Paul closed the deal in the fourth quarter. He makes 4 jump shots that I didn't know if he had it in him. But he just said, I got this. I'm going to close this deal. And every time it looked like, here comes Kawhi, here comes Russ, Chris Paul was the one who said, no, 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 not in my house. Right. And you look at the totality of last night, and I'm shocked that Phoenix is now a 3-point favorite going back to the Clippers because I thought the Clippers would be small favorites. But no, the odds makers are saying, wait a second, that looks like a championship team that we saw last night.
But to mention, Skip, if you look at the shots that Chris Paul made in the second game, every shot that he made in the second game was tougher than the ones that he missed in the first game.
I agree. They were tough shots, all of them.
Yes.
No, I was like, really?
Yes.
Really, really? Okay. Eddie, were you not impressed last night?
Well, I was impressed by this, that they won the rebounding battle. Remember, I said it yesterday. You can't have Chris Paul leading your team in rebounding. DeAndre Ayton answered that bell. He led everybody with 13 rebounds.
He did.
And then on top of that, I just looked at how they played, right? They shared the basketball. They had 30 assists. Most of the times in the NBA, you get 30-plus assists, you're going to be on the winning side of things because that means you sharing the basketball, you got the team in rotation, and you're getting up a lot of shots. You're passing up good shots to get great shots. And they did that.